morning, Kiwi. How are you? What's the music level like? Good morning, now I can see you. Good evening. I think it's night time where you are. Not too loud, but loud, I can hear it, I understand. You were just out with friends a little bit ago, so a little bit tired from partying, but that's good. It's a nice, lovely weekend for you there, so the whole point is having a little bit of a time out with friends and everything else. I must have my cup of tea. Now I can. I have to exit stupid Elgato sound capture every time now. I don't quite understand what that means, but obviously you're not happy with it. It's a sound output thing. Okay. I got very spoiled yesterday, Kiwi. Anna bought me a Stream Deck. Look, I have my very own Stream Deck to play with. Ooh, so many books. They're actually Oracle decks, but that's how they come. Buttons, I know. So many. They do look like books. You can buy a deck on its own, or most decks actually have a book that goes with them. And some people buy them separately, they don't bother, because they might buy extra sets of their decks and only need one book. She was very sneaky. She said, do you want to go out for a ride? And I went, oh, that'd be nice. Also, I just spent another, oh my God, on Amazon. What did you just get? So I knew she was going to pick up the little Maya doll and the Lilith doll. Got my Lights and Switch controller and Zelda game. Getting all the deals. Well, that was the whole point, isn't it? Of saving up your money to do it. So which lights did you get, Anna? Did you get the same one as mine, or did you get the Elgato ones? And I don't understand what a Switch controller is. No, Link's Awakening. I had Breath of the Wild. No, I thought we said the Elgato was too overpriced, but the one I've got is brilliant because you can fit the camera in the middle, and you've seen how it works. I just love it. And the 3 USB ones for green street lighting. 3 USB ones. I still don't understand what that is. Is that part of the Switch controller? I'm still learning all the lingo and all the stuff. Oh, for the green lighting. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Oh, I understand now. Yeah. Because the green screen's got to have their own. I have the Joy-Cons. I've got an actual controller that can plug via USB. Okay. She also bought me a green screen that folds up, comes up and hooks on. So in the new year, I'll have my Stream Deck set up, my green screen set up, and new decks, my banner, and we're going to rearrange where I am so I'm not sideways, I'm all straight on. So big changes in the new year because Anne will get, I'll be tempted to buy it. I did, and I'm so bad. You're not bad, Anna. You're not bad at all. What did we say yesterday? We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't go out and party. Why not blow it on 24 hours? But you're not blowing it because how much money have you actually saved by buying it now on this weekend rather than if you'd been buying them all through the year? So you've actually got a whole lot more bang for your buck. Which is important. I mean, I was hoping to be able to pick up a couple more decks because I was hoping that the Brio would go down lower. But it's still... I still got it slightly cheaper. It is. Yeah, you saved up £1,000 so that you could get these things. And if you've been able to buy a few extra bits and pieces and get all your set up, you're getting a new computer in the new year, which means you can get it all set up, check it all out, because you're going on camera in December, so you can get it all set up. That to me makes a lot more sense. And you've bought practical things for streaming and for your gaming. You haven't gone and bought, well, I'm just going to blow it all on loads of rubbish. Yeah, the lights from us and the Elgato sale made the deck and my screen worth it. And I was blown away when you told me you got me and I saw the Elgato deck and a couple of tops. Well, you're going on camera, you've got to have some new clothes, cough, cough. You know, you've lost so much weight. Buying new tops and clothes is going to be something that will happen. And if you can get those on sale, then again, that's just saving. Are they colours I wear too, or are they just colours you wear? Or are we swapping? Anna and I both had our colours done professionally, and there's a couple of colours we can swap over on. Purple and wine red. Oh, that's going to be lovely. Can't wait to see those. Yeah, you wear the wine red, I wear the deep scarlet red, but we can both wear purple. It's like that very expensive black dress I bought for an interview, and I've worn it twice, and I don't wear black. So I've said to you, that one's yours. Because I paid a fortune for it, and it's been worn twice for an hour and a half. You did good. Black is one of your colours. When you wear black and the colour, but for the top half, when you wear a colour, it's amazing the difference it makes. I was there when Anna actually had her colours done, and they put on 3 of her, what they call like star colours. And I went, oh my God, she looks like a supermodel. She just went, oh, it was just amazing. Pants on stream. I realised when we were getting, because I was buying some table decorations for when I do tarot readings over Christmas, Kiwi. Picked up the traditional red and green and we went, oh, we can do better than that. And then I thought about it when I got home. It'd be no good having green if I've got a green scheme because you won't be able to see half of them. So it was a good job we put them back. Well, I remember I better open this queue. tree just reminded me, okay? You're not broke yet. That's fair enough. Yeah, I didn't think about it till last night, and you were talking about the green screen, and I went, oh, half of those decorations wouldn't have shown up. Oh, screw fell out of your chair, so you had to screw it back in? Are you safe? That's the main thing. Oh no, I hate that. I have one where the cats come up here and they push their feet against the arm and they push it out so the screw underneath falls out, and I have to turn myself inside out like a pretzel. In fact, the other one's gone on the other side. I'll have to look for that one now. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the armrest padding on. Yeah, it's exactly the same as what mine is. So as you're first in the chat today, Kiwi, all these different ones, I'm not going to open them all up, but I'm going to open maybe one. Well, I'll open one and maybe two. So as you're the first one in, you get the choice of all of these ones here, here and here and here, to see which one you'd like to have a look at the pictures of, so that when I'm chatting about them, you've been the one to pick. Hello, Pussycat. The druid animal or the divine animal? I actually, when I do my private readings, I have my cards set out that I have all the people cards, all my people tarot cards. I do 3 rows. So I do like 1 row of all the people tarot cards, 1 row of all the animal tarot, because I actually have quite a few specific tarot decks that are all based on animals. And then I have my oracle cards. So I have a whole range. So you have like the saints and angels and the unicorns, for those people that love unicorns. The archetype, I always give everyone an archetype card at the end. But I do like animal oracles, because lots of people are very interested in the animal oracles. This one here is probably the most amazing oracle deck I've actually used. I've also written a review on it, which is now on my website, but also links to the place I got it. And she loved it so much, she not only put it on the website for people. I love the box art because I don't think you can see it. Can you see the hologram? The actual lettering here and here is actually hologram. It totally, when I saw it, it's not the same on the sides, but just on the front. The moment I saw that, I went, oh, I love that. Size of the book is incredible. Like you, I love the art on the front. But she's used a similar image that's on the back of the cards in the box. I love all the attention to detail. I really do. So this one here is actually by a lady called Stacey DeMarco. The outside is fanboying right now. What I love about it is she's not only done realistic pictures, but then she's melded them with the other beautiful imagery. She's added parts of mythology to it. and symbolism, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I know. And there's a word that goes with them. So like with dolphin, you have happiness. It's the one and only critique I put on the deck was you can read this one fine. The lighter, smaller font on the word is harder to read. For someone like me who wears glasses, I have to go a little bit closer. I'd have liked it to be just a little bit brighter to actually read it. The armadillo, and that goes in with the mythos. Yeah, and that's the only thing. You can read that clear as day. And I understand that she's got the number up here. I'd have preferred either the title to be up there, and the number slightly more discreet. But the not being able to read the keyword is slightly, to me, that was the only thing. I love this one of fear, where she's done the black and white of fear and the darkness, and actually what it really is, but the fear of it, and it's the hyena bringing out that fear, and I thought that was a beautiful concept of how she's done that. The lynx is a favourite of a lot of people who've looked at this deck. They love the lynx. And the elephant. The right path. Hello, the right path. Welcome to the channel. How are you? You've just signed up for Twitch. That's lovely. How are you finding it? And thank you for coming to visit me if you've just signed up for Twitch. That's wonderful. Peachy keen. I'm really glad about that. My name is Tarot DNA. This is my channel. My mod Anna. And one of my lovely friends, Kiwi, is in the channel now. We've only just started. I read tarot. Cards are on the outside, all the tarot cards I'll be reading with in a short while. But we're focusing a little bit first up as people come into the channel. Hello, Deb. It's lovely to meet you. Is the W-R-I-G-H-T, might that be your surname and it be Deb Wright? Or is it just the right path and that's just a nice way of doing it? You like the twist on that? I read as well. I'm from Port Huron in Michigan. That's lovely. Always welcome tarot readers here. How long have you been reading tarot? It is my surname. I thought it might be when I saw that. You're very welcome. And as we go through the readings, if there's something you can add to it, read it, put it in chat. I'm not precious about my reading. Hello, Michelle. I saw your link on your Facebook page. You and I belong to. That be Tarot Professionals? Pink Elephant Sadie? I always put it in there with my member number because I am a member of Tarot Professionals, yes. Yeah, lovely to see you here. Nice to have another couple of readers here. As explained, I'm very briefly talking about oracle cards because some of the people I have in the channel are like you, Michelle and Deb. You're both tarot professionals, brilliant. Then you've seen a lot of the different things on oracle cards. A lot of the people I have coming into the channel are actually new to tarot, have no idea of the difference. Don't realise there's such a big range of oracle cards and the artwork is different and how we use them. I use a lot of different decks in my readings. I've been reading for 45 years now, but I've only been streaming for a couple of months. Well, actually 2 months, and I had one of those months off because I was ill, so I've officially been streaming for 2 months, but actually only streaming for a month and back this week. So, I am back now, yes. Kiwi loves all the tarot decks as well in the art because he's an artist. So he's loving the art. So I put them all out and he was first in the channel. I said, well, which would you like to have a look at? And he picked one of my favourites, which is Stacey DeMarco's Animal Divine Oracle, of which I did a review on for Tarotopia because You got your first deck about 25 years ago. What was your first deck? Because not everybody starts with a Rider-Waite. Some people are just drawn to different decks. And I might live in Australia, but I'm a real tea, and I love having my Earl Grey tea on stream. A universal deck that has multiple languages. Wow, that's really good. Well, actually, on the card itself, a lot of them do. Really nice. Do you speak different languages, or you were just glad it had English? Because I would be. I'd be going, can have all their languages it's like, Rider-Waite style. Yeah, as long as I can have English on there, I'm fine. I mean, you can work out, like I've got one that's got a little bit of French on, and you can work out what the cards are, but I don't actually speak French. So, and how about you, Michelle? When did you start reading tarot? I only speak English too, and I'm always in awe of people that say I speak, 3, 4 or 5 languages. I go, wow, that's just amazing. It's hard enough speaking one well, let alone several. You've been reading your mum's cards since you were 5, you're now 39. Well, you started very early, you beat me by 10 years. And it's amazing how many youngsters actually sit on there and pick up, because it's symbols and pictures. It's amazing. So you've been reading a long, long time. Do you both just read Rider-Waite style, or do you read Marseille, Thoth, or I have Kipper and Le Monde that I read too. I use Kipper, but I'm actually now going through some courses to really come to grips with Kipper, because it's a slightly different system. Riders, once you know the Rider-Waite style, you can get so many other beautiful decks, and unless they really tweak it on you, like I've got a couple that they have. The flowers in the corner. I know. I have 2 foster cats, which you might see running up and down the corridor. You may also see them running on the table. Use Tarot and Oracle in readings. Yeah, I do a lot, but there's a lot of people who don't realise you can use both. And I said, a lot of people who come into the channel are first time people getting exposed to tarot, and you're learning Le Monde. Yeah, just slightly different. And Le Monde and Kipper look similar, but there's still a slightly different system to them. I'm learning the Bavarian Kipper method, and the Le Monde is slightly different. So have either of you, you've got 4 kitties, we foster 2, and they're actually up for adoption. So, but Roxy the girl cat, they're both a year old, has a habit of actually flying onto the table, and I mean literally. We clipped her the other day, she was flying for a moth. So she comes up and sits on everything. So she's likely to come and say hello. She's done it 2 streams now. Yeah, she does. Normally she'll just walk through, but she's just decided that there's more going on here, so she just wants to be a part of it, as often cats do with the tarot. Yeah, a Roxy cameo. She does it all the time. That's it. We've just been going through some of the art of the Stacey DeMarco deck, which is absolutely gorgeous. Because, as I said, Kiwi wanted to have a little look at some of the cards I've got out here. So if I put a selection up, I'll let people choose which one they want to have a little cameo of, if they haven't seen them. For those that haven't seen oracles, and for those that do, they go, oh, I might be interested in buying that one. You're a collector with Tarot, Oracle, Le Monde. You have about 350 decks. You've got way more than I have. Your oldest is 1904. Which deck is your 1904 deck? Yeah, I'm working up to that. I love them. They're beautiful. You see, when it comes to collecting, I'm still a baby. I've only got about 80. So I'm just, you know, way, several hundred decks behind you. And you'd be surprised to hear how many people actually just buy them for the art, and a lot of people collect them for the art and don't read with all of them. I love the gorilla. I sponsored a gorilla called Ashen Guru in Rwanda, and we knew he was going to become the silverback of the troop. It's kept in your safe. I'm not surprised. If it's an original 1904, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I have some of my special editions I keep further away from everything else as well. So, but I'm lucky there's only my daughter and I, and the cats don't seem to bother too much with the decks and the shelves when they're on my main shelf area. It's just when they're on here and I'm using them, it's like, what's going on? Wow. That's an incredible thing to have. It's really lovely having you in the channel. I'm so glad you came in and thought you'd have a little look. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I do 3 different time zones because Tuesday is mainly geared for Australia, Thursday is mainly geared for the UK, and Saturday is geared for the United States. Because of 3 different time zones, I stream at 3 different times just to actually try to give everybody a chance to drop into at least one during the week that's in a time zone that's not ridiculous for them. Yeah, cats love tarot and Reiki. They absolutely do. I've done both, and they do. When I was giving Reiki, the cats and the dogs would always be around me, but they love tarot and my crystals. US here, New Jersey. This is actually the Saturday. Is it Friday night for you? I think it's about 8:30 Friday night, depending on the time zone or whereabouts in the States you are. This Saturday was actually geared this was geared for the United States. This time zone was geared specifically for the United States. Because I have friends from tarot professionals in Australia and UK. It's around 4 p.m. for you. We tried to make it a time that I was catching a lot, 7:30 here. Yeah, so I was trying to make it that I was catching as many people in the States as I could, without being a ridiculous time for me to get up in the morning, but also so that it would give me a fair amount of time to do 2 or 3 hours and people could come in and out and catch me. So this Saturday, this is specifically for you in the States because it's the only way I could think of it. I couldn't get one time. I thought I'm just going to have to do 3 days and 3 different times, and that's all there is to it. So I actually have on my phone, I have all the different cities, so I can work out. I went ages working out where I was going to actually and what time frame I could do it in. I do try to make time for as many people as I can, and then it's amazing because then you get the other time zones that slot in. It's dedication. It's I've made so many friends through tarot professionals as a group, and because of my tarot reading in general, and then with the streaming community who are also all over the world. So it's trying to give the best to everybody to do exactly that. Got us all in on it now. Exactly. Because I have a lot of streamers who aren't used to tarot who just come in and go, oh, like, I love the art and like the readings. So this is very much, this was the deck that Kiwi liked, was the beautiful Divine Animal Oracle. You see how they've done the art, but they've just beautifully combined it so well. And there's such a lot of information in this deck because it's not just the animals. They are so talented. I mean, a lot of them I know now do digitally, but even that is an art form in itself. To be able to be a digital artist, I have a lot of Ciro Marchetti's, and very much his artwork, his jigsaw puzzles, everything he does. And you'll see on my screen, I have a huge link to tarot, Cicero, because of all the decks of his I own, and I'm getting the next 3 coming in December. So I just love this deck. Absolutely love it. So that's the artwork in that one. Deb, you've probably got most of these decks. Is there an Oracle deck that you haven't seen that I've got that you don't own, that you'd like a closer look at the artwork? Or you, Michelle? He is a hoot. His sense of humour is hilarious, and poor Maria, his long-suffering wife, the things he puts on there about the presents he's going to buy her and everything else, and his latest one, he's going to go to Las Vegas and be a croupier. Is it too late for him? He is funny. He's absolutely hilarious guy. The first one you picked is one I don't know. This animal, this is actually newly out. This hasn't been out very long, and that was the reason I got it, and I did the review on it. So I have a link on my web, underneath the page here has all the links to my social media, my website and everything else. And if you actually click the notification for Twitter, I always tweet. I always put it on Tarot Professionals as well, but I actually tweet when I'm going live. So this one is a new one. It's, as I said, the reason I loved it so much, it wasn't just the artwork. I gave the deck 5 stars, but what I said was I actually wanted to give it 11 because the guidebook has coloured photos, which to me is a gold star. She not only actually, and I trained as a scientist, so she actually has the Latin nomenclature of the animal, which to me is brilliant. It's a star. She puts the power of the animal. Need to get on Twitter, it's really easy. She has the mythology that goes with the animal, which for me was another gold star. Not everybody does that. She put a lot about the animal and its habitat for you to learn about the animal if you don't know them. I gave her another star. The magic of what you can do with the animal, another gold star. All the symbols, so if someone's actually learning symbology, they can learn the symbols associated with the animal that she's used. And then she also put the Red Book endangered status of every single animal. So for every single one of these, I gave her another gold star because it's such a different guidebook. I highly recommend it, and it's not that expensive here in Australia, so it will be less in the States. You probably pick this up for under 20 American, I would imagine, because it's about 30 Australian. So you guys are going to pick it up for 15 to 20 US, I would imagine, and it's lovely. It's a really good deck. So it was by one of my new ones, and I said I buy through Tarotopia because it's easy for me being an Australian, because obviously with the Australian dollar to the American dollar, when I buy decks, the postage can be as much as the deck. So I try to buy in Australia to save me so I can buy 2 decks instead of 1, which is exactly what I did. But that deck, if you haven't got it, is lovely if you use Oracle decks. You'll be adding to your collection. Well, you might be adding, I don't know if you like crystal oracles. I haven't done the review on this one, but I will be. This was another one that I bought. I love the fact that every single one, they've used a face to be adding to the personality of the actual deck. And I love the colour on the inside of the box. Not just black, the colour of it. And I went, I love that. I'd rate the box. The book's not the same quality as the other one, and it doesn't have the colours, but it has a lot about it, and it has affirmations. You could love crystals. I love this deck. So again, this one, and she goes through lots. It's beautiful shade of blue. It's almost a blue to a purple. It's heliotrope, I think they call it. It's gorgeous. And as an artist, Kiwi, it's. I opened it and I went, oh, I love that blue. It is. I'd almost buy it just because I love looking at the box. But this is lovely. The back of the cards, it's almost been done like a jeweled brooch, which I think is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then what she's done is each page has the crystal around, gives you what it is, it gives you a keyword. But can you see the border of the crystal all the way around the black edge? And again, it is, I'll take that out of that one. You can see how lovely they are. Quite gorgeous. Sugar light. And you almost do get the personality of the gem through the face and the eyes. I don't know if I'm getting that. Is that better for you? I think you can see that slightly better. That one's just gorgeous. So if you like crystals, hello Senpai, how are you? I'm brilliant. This art is pretty. This is, we're talking about oracle decks. This is the Precious Gems Oracle. I will be doing my tarot readings. I just wanted to focus a little bit on some of the, just come home from hanging with some co-workers, went out to dinner. Oh, lovely. It's really nice. You're always able to chill with us, kick back. So if you haven't seen this one, again, it's a newer one out. Emerald. Love the diamond. That really reminded me of Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra. I just went, that's so... If it's been a long day, just chill out with us. We'll be here for a few hours, as you well know. The queue is open for readings, and because I've got Deb and Michelle here, I do free readings. If you want to have a free reading from me, and there is no obligation, went out to help with laundry. That was 5.5 hours ago. Oh, that laundry is a tough job when you've got to go out and then have a meal and a drink in between the laundry cycle. That's a tough job, Sand. Yeah, that's the way to do the laundry. Go out to dinner while you let the laundry dry. Yep, that's the way to do it. You'll have been in here enough that you will have earned enough in-channel currency, which is pentacles, and we put I-coins. And once you have 10, and you'll have, I'm sure by now, because you've been here more than 10 minutes, will have had enough to join the queue. By putting exclamation point join. So yeah, by putting I-coins, it tells you how many you have. Kiwi has 820. You have to cook chili today after stream. Yes, you do. You can, that puts you want chili? You can come for chili. Make space for Sandy. We always have space for you, Sandy. You're one of my own. You know that. By putting I join in, you can join the queue and you get to choose your cards. And she does have a secret ingredient. Her chili is amazing. That's why Anna cooks the chili. She's brilliant at it. It is love. It is love, yes. As you may see, Deb and Michelle, I have quite a few people here that I know personally as well. Senpai and Kiwi are almost like my other kids. They're my stream kids. And you'll notice sometimes they call me Mummalog. That is because Analog Gaming is my daughter who streams. And it was actually Senpai, who's in with us now, that actually christened me Mummalog because I'm Anna's in real life mama. So they call me Mummalog. So that's my other name I go by. So although I'm Vera on Tarot Professionals or Tarot DNA, and the name has stuck. It absolutely has stuck. So if people say hello Mummalog, you go, who are they talking about? That's actually me. It's I might be Vera, but I'm aka Tarot DNA, aka Mummalog. And it's done with love. Your greatest accomplishment was you nicknamed me. You absolutely did. The right path. So Anna is my daughter. She's also, yeah, her brother dubbed me Little Mama, but he was 6'4", and I am 4'9", so I was the very little mama next to him. So it's always stuck that I'm Mama. You're 6'4" too. Well, you know exactly. I'm 4'9", and I was just so tiny next to him. So it was just, and he kept growing. He wanted to be a submariner, and we weren't sure he was going to fit because you can't be more than 6'6". So he had a haircut because he grew, so we could actually get into the submarines. But so yeah, I join gets you into the queue for a free reading, and I coins tells you how many pentacles you have, and you only need 10 to get into the queue. Yeah, he had to have his head in a locker in his rack. He would open the locker so his head could go in, so when he was sleeping. And when he wanted a really good sleep, he went and slept in the torpedo tube because they were longer, they were 7 foot long. So he'd go and sleep in the torpedo tube because he ended up 6'6". So here are all these beautiful cards. And someone at 6'4" saying you will totally understand. I love the bloodstone. I think that's a gorgeous picture. Who's coming back tomorrow? You tangle off your bed. Yeah, you have to get extra long beds. I had to get him a king size because of the length of him at 16. It was ridiculous. I didn't mind when he decided to go away to the Navy. I thought they can feed him. So iCoin should tell you, it should come up. Yeah, iCoins. Yeah, iCoins without space. So you, and I join, yeah. So these are all those ones. So if you're interested, this is what this deck looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. Is there a space in them? Oh, sorry, it's exclamation join. I thought, that's me. I thought we'd said it as I join. Ah. That's me. So I'm going to move some of these decks off out of the way to give us a little bit of space. And up what? It's an upside down one. That's fine, it doesn't matter because I know that she's definitely entered. Absolutely. So I've given you a little bit of a look at some of the different ones we've got. We might bring some more out later. You'll join myself. Kiwi and Sound, I know, have had some readings from me. I'm glad you do. But what I wanted to explain, because I know as I'm doing the readings, oh, thank you very much, Kiwi, I appreciate that. You know, I teach you a little bit about the tarot and the oracle and what we're doing, because I like to do that. I think part of you being in this channel isn't just getting the readings, it's actually being exposed a little bit more to the oracles and the tarot decks and what it's all about. So I wanted to explain a little bit you know that we have the tarot decks when we've done them, and obviously for Deb and Michelle, you know that we have the minor arcana and we have the majors. And somewhere in here, thought when I looked, there we go, knew I'd find one very quickly. tarot deck is structured that we have. Hello Chloe, how are you? Lovely to see you back in the channel again. Appreciate you dropping back in. Thank you very much for joining us. The queue is open. We're briefly talking about the difference between a tarot deck and an oracle deck, because I use both, and I like to explain a little bit of what I'm doing as well as doing the readings. I got hit by reality, so first I will study like normal person. That's absolutely fine, Crowy. We were having a long talk the other night, I know. I normally do about a 3-hour stream, and the other night I was feeling so good I did 6.5 hours. So we had a few very long, involved, complex reads, but they were wonderful. So the first thing we have in the tarot deck is we have the minor arcana, which are 40 cards. I actually caught that one, even though I probably missed it. You did, because I just went on forever. We then have the major arcana. So the minor arcana are very much everyday. And these are the ones that are split into the 4 suits. So when you hear me talk about the swords being the air element, and the cups being the water element, that's good. And the coins being the pentacles or the earth, and then we have the wands as the fire element. So they're all the small everyday things. They go for the more down to earth things that we're talking about. We then have the world, which is a major arcana, and there are 22 of those, and they're all the big themes of life. And then we have a court card, and they follow the suits, the same 4 suits, and we have 4 of those. So we have a prince or a page, we have the knight, and then we have the queen and the king. And they tend to talk about people, sometimes events and situations. So that's all the different tarot decks follow this structure. That's what makes them a tarot deck, and they have 78 cards. So when we're talking about a tarot deck, we're talking about a pack of cards that have these 3 sections in. Okay, so Kiwi and Crowy and Sandpie, you don't read tarot. Does that make sense? We've been talking about it as we do the readings, but the minor, and then the world and the major, and then these ones here. That's good. That's fair enough, Crowy. So that explains a little bit about the tarot. An oracle deck can have as many cards as it wants. They can have 30, 44, or like this one, over 60. All right, Crowy, you take care. Thank you for dropping by, and we will talk later. I'll see you next time. Thank you for dropping by, and I'm really glad that we had that long talk the other night, and you know you're always welcome back in. You take care. This particular one is an animal oracle, and we looked at another one earlier. Oracle decks give you a number because often it's easier in the book to find the card. They'll tell you the name of the oracle, a bit like the major arcana will have the name of the card. Because this is an animal deck, it's a spirit animal, spirit oracle, animal oracle. It has a swan spirit, so it's talking about the spirit of the animal. So every single card has that, and this one has a little phrase underneath it, and this one you can read. So it takes, when you learn a tarot deck, you start learning what the cards mean in general, and you can take that to almost every tarot deck. When you're learning an oracle deck, because every person who makes one can put their own meanings and interpretation on these pictures, then you have to learn them all differently. So every oracle deck, you have to spend time actually learning it to give yourself an idea of what it is the person has asked about. And that's why they put these little phrases or words on the bottom to help you, because otherwise you're trying to learn every bit of information about every single card. Which is why quite often when people read with oracle cards, they will have the book next to them if they haven't had the deck very long, just to make sure they're covering everything until they feel they're comfortable and they've used it enough to know what that's talking about. Which is why often some people will pick one oracle deck and learn with it and use it and then do another one. Deb and Michelle, how do you find when you have so many oracle decks, learning them all, or do you, so I know some people still use the books, have them there, or have you had them long enough that you kind of know all your oracle decks inside and out? I know the artwork is lovely. Again, beautiful artwork. And then we kind of have the mix. We have the Osho Zen Tarot. But some people, because of the pictures on it, actually not only use it as a tarot deck, but they will use the picture and the word almost like an oracle. So though it has the same structure as a tarot deck, even though it has its own way of doing it, some people very much will use this almost as a crossover between tarot. I read through the book and I use intuition. What does the card say to the client? Exactly, because it's so much in the books, especially when you have quite a lot of information, as some books do, or it's a very different system, especially with crystals. I've noticed a lot of the crystal ones, everybody uses different crystals and finds different information and ways of using them, but there can be an awful lot of information in there. And that's one of those things, it's even when you've been doing cards for a long time, when you have quite a big oracle deck, you kind of go, that's a lot of information to remember if you've got, and like you've got 350 decks, that's a lot of decks to remember if there's a third of them even as oracle decks. So I think when I go into the queue, Deb, the right path, you're up for the very first reading. So, you can see I have Tarot Grand Lux. The Angel Tarot by Rad is a tarot oracle cross deck that clients like too. I don't have actually any of Radley's. I've had a couple of Doreen Virtues, but I've seen some of his decks and I've seen some of his YouTube videos, and picking up some of his are very good. That's another tarot oracle cross, yeah. And it is sometimes getting that mix between the two, isn't it? And a lot of people don't realise that there are actual tarot tarot decks that are almost an oracle cross as well. Especially if you're going somewhere and you just want to take one deck, that's a good deck to take. So Deb, you are actually up for the first reading this morning, or this evening, as it is for you. And what I did to make it easier, I say to people you can either pick it because you know the title, and obviously you probably do, but some people don't, so I put the words on. So I have Tarot Grand Lux Believe, Tarot of Dreams is the dream, the Marchetti Tarot is love, Legacy of the Divine's courage, the Gilded is hope, and that's the Oracle of Visions, serenity. So if you like a tarot deck, there are the ones you can choose from. If you'd like to pick a tarot deck that you'd like me to read with, you just put in the chat which deck you'd like. Grand Lux. Would you like a specific question answered, or a question in a specific area, or would you like a general reading? Choice is entirely up to you. If you'd like a question, is it a question you're happy to type in chat? Ooh, the Jester deck. Yeah, everyone's starting to get to know because they hadn't come across all of these cards. So they're learning all the cards, and one of the reasons I have the boxes up, because I have so many people who don't know tarot, and they're getting to know the names of the deck that they like and which ones are which. And for those that don't, they go, I just like that word, I want that one. General, please. Absolutely fine. Ooh. Cards go flying. They're like, choose me. They do. And you do realise that no pressure here, having two other professional members in chat. I love it. Everybody asked me how the cloth stays in place. They're getting crazy already. The cloth is put in position so I know it's actually in camera. Because obviously it's very different reading face to face, but actually I have to make sure everything's in camera shot. So you love learning from other readers. I do, sometimes because of the time frame and because I'm dealing with other people who don't know about tarot. We've come up with some more simplified, you could call them a spread, but layouts. So what I do is, this is one of the ones I use, and this is my pairing spread. So I put out, and when it's a general, I go, well, we're going to see what areas of life the four corners bring up. So this corner here, my cards, is actually the fire dragon. So this is the corner for fire. So let's see what the fire corner brings up for you. And you have two of beautiful mages. So the fire corner, as you know, would relate to wands, but we use the element of fire doing an elemental corner reading of not just relating it to wands, but actually the element of fire. So it's very much, do you have the passion? Do you have, as in the wands would be the drive, the ambition? Is there something burning? Is there something that you need to focus on that is actually giving you or increasing your fire and passion in your life at the moment? What is it that needs that extra fire and passion? Or what do you have fire and passion about? What is going to take off? And especially as the last month of the decade, maybe what are you going to take into the new decade? So we have the Hanged Man. So we're kind of saying, well, at the moment, the fire is just a little bit, it's only smouldering. It's not actually going full on. We haven't got a blaze, but we have a slightly smouldering fire because we have the Hanged Man. And we know that the Hanged Man, the symbology is based on Odin and the tree, where he was actually able to stay there for 40 days, and that's actually where he picked up the runes. So his fire and passion was actually having a message of new skills, a whole new language, a whole new divination system coming through. So when you're in the Hanged Man position and you're actually in limbo, especially in the corner of fire, know that you're actually waiting for something really special to come through. That limbo is something, it's that time, almost that spot in between breathing, that breathing in, that waiting and breathing out. Something's going to happen, but you're in that space in between where you might be feeling you're in limbo. We're not quite, we've just had in America, you've just had Thanksgiving, you've got over that. You're kind of in limbo, gearing up, getting over one before Christmas and the new year. So it is actually, environmentally, it's very much chronologically a time of limbo at the moment in where you're living. But in the fire, it is an area where now you have to think about where you want to actually focus your passions, your drive. What is it you want to do? And while you're in limbo, think about all those things you really want to start doing. What is a new fire, a new passion, a new joy, something that you want to bring into your life that maybe has been lacking or has been put on the back burner that you now want to bring forward and ignite the flames and the passions? Is it a project? Is it a person? Is it a relationship? What is it that you want to bring fire and passion into your life? Because when you do, you actually have the world. Can you see the fire here? So in the corner of fire, we have the shape of the Orphic egg, a new beginning again, the end of a cycle, the start of a new cycle. Perfectly fitting in with the Hanged Man is that in between cycles, we still take a breath. When we finish a project, we have that moment. When we finish a term at school, when we finish a job, even when we finish a task at home, you finish the washing and the ironing, you'll sit down, you take a break before you maybe do something else. It's those breaks that we learn from and rest, because then we can explode for the next one. So you have the world, and we know it's the most beautiful card in the deck. It is a whole new beginning, an ending and a beginning all in one. So the fire dragon is saying to you, enjoy the respite, the limbo, draw breath, feel and think what it is you want to put your new passions in, your new focus, especially coming up to the end of a decade and the start of a new one. Because when you start the next 10 years, what are you going to make your mark in the world with in the next decade? You're coming to the end of the decade. Look back on what you've done for the last 10 years. What do you want to progress to? Where do you want to leave your mark with your fire, with your passion, your drive in the next decade? That's the message from the fire pairing for you. Now we go to the opposite corner and we go to the element of earth. We go to the earth dragon. what has the Earth Dragon got to tell you? The Earth Dragon, you have another Mage card. It's telling you have movement. So when you've created and know exactly what it is you're creating with fire, the Earth Dragon here is telling you that will create movement in your life. There will be movement in that, and you can only take it forward. It's all good having that initial burst of energy and passion and drive, but then there is the next phase. That is the Chariot. That is the commitment to taking it forward and driving it through. And you probably saw I posted the archaeological dig find of the 2,500-year-old original chariot with horse and rider. So it's very apt that this has come up, because it shows that this particular card, horses, the chariots, 2,500 years ago, people were using this mode of transport to motivate and move themselves, to go from one place to another. When this card's up, you'll have to, I didn't see it, I'll have to look. I actually posted that, I think I've also posted it on my normal page, but I'll make sure it's on there. It was an archaeological dig, and they found a complete chariot intact with the horse. Well, I should say horses, a team of horses and riders that somehow had been preserved for 2,500 years, and they dug up the entire thing, and I put a picture of it, and it has a whole story of the archaeological dig of the chariot, and I put it on saying, Chariot card, this is the original chariot 2,500 years ago. So this card is very apt, because this form of movement has been going on for 2,500 years. The chariot, it will take you wherever you want to go for as long as you want to go. So the movement is there for you, Deb. You just have to decide how far you want it to go and how long you want it to last. So where do you want to see the chariot taking you after you've created the fire of what you want to do? Because look where it's going to take you. We are in the element of earth. I got a chill, I did see the article. They talk about destiny, they talk about kismet, they talk about fate. They talk about synchronicity and symbols. Symbols are everywhere in tarot, as you well know. I saw that, and I can tell you, ever since I've seen that, every reading I've done, the chariot has come up. It is, and going into the next decade, the chariot, the movement, it is a symbol that we're going to see everywhere in the next decade. There is going to be that level of movement. It's that seismic swap of change where energetically the change coming and the movement for the next decade is incredible. So that change you have coming from these cards in the earth element is actually the King of Coins. So what you're thinking about, and if nothing is actually in your mind at the moment, then I want you to journal, because you have an incredible opportunity that is waiting for you to realize. It is there dangling in front of you. You just have to meditate, journal, maybe pull some cards for yourself, but actually realize there is an opportunity full of fire to give you the world. Your chariot awaits, Deb. Literally, your chariot is awaiting you to take you through the abundance of the wolf and the stag and the trees here and the emerald and the King of Pentacles. You don't get much better than that. And as a tarot reader, I don't need to tell you the King of Coins, of what that can bring you when you have the world at your feet to be able to move and manifest the King of Coins in abundance in all your resources in your materialistic everyday life. So out of the two elements, your fire and earth are giving you the most incredible drive forward you can have in this last month. And it is the last 4 weeks of a decade. You now need to realize you have the last month. And we are in, astrologically, and again I posted this, that Jupiter and Venus 48 hours ago were next to each other in the sky. So that is the expansion in love. Absolutely, it doesn't get any better. Expansion for the world. And with Venus, who brings love and attention to everything we focus on. So you have, astrologically, 2 incredible planets there to help you. Jupiter, you don't get any better with the world at all. And if you want to focus something with fire and passion, you have the planet Venus. This is a time frame that you have to make the most of while they're in that sphere going on at the moment. I can't stress that enough to you. This is the air dragon. And we have here the 8 of Swords for air. The air dragon is telling you the limbo you're in is one thing, taking a respite. Don't allow your thoughts to imprison you into inaction. Do not allow inaction this month to get in the way of you creating a new world, a new movement on your road to manifestation. Because it's easy to do, to think that everyone else is going to get us out of our mental analysis paralysis. This thought of, I'm standing still, I have nowhere to go, I don't know how to get out of this. Because you do. You can see here that there is a portal, an 1111 gateway right here for you to walk through. You're in limbo, but there is a portal to walk through from where you're stuck. So where you feel you're stuck at the moment in your mind, walk out of that thought process. Go outside, literally take a walk and walk through the portal. Clear your mind. Look at the trees. Look at the nature where you are going to manifest. Take a walk outside. Release the thoughts that are binding you at this particular moment in time. You can be in limbo and actually have a respite in between the holidays, but don't get stuck. You've been feeling stuck. You need to change the energy. You need the grounding energy of the Chariot to get you out of being stuck into the Chariot. And you can see the nature, the manifestation. If you want to get out of that limbo and find out exactly where the thoughts are coming for you to create your new world for the next decade, you have to go out into nature. Release those thoughts, walk through that portal of 11. There is an open portal for you to literally walk through, to go to the trees, to sit down, meditate, take your journal, take your tarot deck. Because once you get out of that, the Chariot is waiting to take you to the next stop. And the next stop is the world. There is nothing stopping you creating anything it is that you want to do. But you have to plan ahead. Because if we don't know where we're going and where we're coming from, we go around in circles. You need to know your start point. That's where the Hanged Man comes in. This is where you plan. The Chariot. Hi Hannah, how are you? We're doing brilliant. The queue is open for you, my darling, if you want to join us. And we have some other tarot readers in here today. So I hope we're going to get loads and loads of feedback when we're doing other readings, because you know what I'm like? I love other tarot readers to jump in and put points on chat, because that's what we're all here for. I learn from other readers too, and I love having an open community. So out of that feeling stuck, because you have two kings, Deb. You have the King of Pentacles for the resources, but you also have the King of Cups to help with the passion, to keep the motivation going to create your new world. You have the world at your feet. You will have the resources, and with the King of Cups, you will master the emotions that are helping you at the moment feel stuck. You have everything. There is no West card in tarot. Thank you, Dukes. If you just hang on a moment in the middle of a reading, then I'll answer your questions, okay? There is no West card in tarot. Every card in tarot has a meaning. They're there for a lesson, and we learn from them. So, now we have our water element. I'm not saying bad things don't happen in life. Tarot cards do show that. But if you just, one moment, can I just finish this reading, Dukes? Thank you very much. I will then answer all your questions for you. We have the water element. We actually do have the Knight, but we also have the Seven of Coins. This is another card that has come up almost in every read I've done in this week. We know that we're going to get a harvest in. We know that we're going... No, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you, Analog. This is the card of patience to me. It says we're going to get a harvest in, but we have to put the work in, and we have to wait our turn. We have to know that there is a time and a reason and a season for everything. If we plant a seed, we're not going to be able to bring the harvest in a week later. Never have to apologise, Dukes, for asking questions. That's absolutely fine. So from there, when we've been patient, the Knight is there to help us galvanise those emotions and move forward. So you have two movement cards, Deb. You have the Chariot to help you in the physicality of moving, but you have the Knight of Emotions to help you move the emotions along. So when you're feeling stuck, allow the Knight to help carry you off on the seahorse. Allow him to let you go with the flow, so that you don't feel stuck in the swords in your mind, that you actually connect with the heart space to actually get yourself out of the mental process of thinking and back into feeling. And journaling would really work. The two cards that flew out there. Oh, look at that. We actually have the Devil card and the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords here, in some decks, as you know, it's the three going through the heart. I like this interpretation because it's saying in our mind we can not only be stuck, but we can feel that things are broken, that we are almost in despair, that we are not only stuck, but there are so many feelings. We are literally head in our hands, don't know what to do. We are almost at our wit's end. We haven't come to the 9 or the 10, even though we're only at the 3, but it can feel that way. It can be at the state where it's overwhelming and we're really not quite sure where to go. We haven't taken that next step of respite of the 4 of Swords, but actually you have the next best thing. You have the Hanged Man, that respite, that taking a step back and actually understanding that when you're stuck and those feelings can overwhelm and we don't know how to get past them, the step back, going into nature, learning to reconnect with our feelings. My cat just walked on the screen. I'm lucky at the moment that my cat's not here. They'd be saying hello to each other on cat cam. Your cat obviously likes the message and saying, yep, that's what you've got to do. Even the cat agrees. So to take yourself out of that, and what's your cat's name? We have Roxy and Ollie, a boy and a girl, brother and sister. Because when you can do that, we have here the devil. And we know the devil is about being stuck in a place that we don't want to be. It can sometimes be through other decisions we've made that's got us in an area of our life where we feel stuck, where we feel we have no choice, or it's a bad choice or a worse choice. We don't see a good choice coming out of it. But we also see the 2 people at the bottom here, as we know, bad beep. Okay. And the Lovers here only have a light ribbon holding them. They can easily get away because their hands are free, but they don't, because it's up here mentally, here. Even the red ribbon here is exactly the same. That's almost like you being caught here, going, I'm stuck here. But you're actually not, because you can remove that. Look how sharp that sword is. You can remove all those thoughts. We know the double-edged sword. It can cut the truth away. It can cut everything away to actually just reveal the truth. But it can also make us feel that we're stuck and we have no way out. So you have the devil here. Lay down what is no longer serving you. In this period of respite and with the Hanged Man, lay down all the things that are no longer serving you and allow yourself to break free from that despair and that feeling of being stuck. Is that helpful to you, Deb? No, this isn't they don't need to be worried at all, Dukes. This actually is giving them an idea of exactly what's going on. The Devil and the Sword card. This is an action plan. They don't need to lock themselves in at all. This is an action plan. Has that been helpful, Deb? No jokes, not worried. That explains exactly where I am. Swords are one of the forces of tarot, like diamonds and clubs in the deck's cards. They absolutely are. Swords actually respond to the mental clarity and our thoughts. So when we're like this, it's just saying we're actually caught up in our thoughts. You have the Le Monde 30, the lilies. The lilies of peace. It's saying when you start letting things go, it is a weapon of war, as words are. And actually, swords relates to words. Words can be used in many ways. So you have the lilies, Deb. Start you feeling that there is some peace coming in. But then you also have the compass. In this case, the cards are telling you to wake up, stop giving excuses and move forward. They absolutely are. And the move forward card, you have the compass, which ties in with the Chariot. So it's getting out of your own headspace, it's getting out of your own way, out of your head, out of those thoughts. Dukes, do you read tarot? That's what it's saying, it's exactly what it's saying. No, I didn't think so. The lady I'm reading for is a tarot reader, as well as I'm a tarot reader for 45 years. And the cards, to someone who doesn't read tarot, look very scary. The Swords card, the Death card, the Devil card, the Tower card, some of them look very scary. I didn't think so. So that's fine. You were trying to make an impact, and you certainly did. But they're actually not scary cards at all. And you're more than welcome to stay around, have a listen, so that you can actually, just to let you know, my age is also changing before the end of the year. Now, I know you're just joking. I absolutely know that. Yeah. And Dan is right. You're changing decades. And that's very different. I know. I've just turned 60, so I've gone into a new decade myself. So that can be very hard, letting go of one and moving on. And so I wish you well changing decades. It is a huge change, but it's also the great time to let go of the old, the devil, in what no longer serves you, and to lay down those things that you want to change. And with the Hanged Man, have the limbo to change, and you have the whole world in the Chariot to take you forward. And with the King of Cups and the King of Coins and the Knight, you're turning 60. I've just turned 60. We're the same age. Just a few months between us. I turned 60 on the 25th of September, which is when I started my very first stream. That was my 60th birthday present to me, to start my new decade, taking on a new challenge of streaming live tarot on Twitch and setting up a YouTube channel and a website, but actually streamed on my birthday. And there isn't a video because we had technical difficulties, which was just a big hoot. It was like, well, that's setting the tone for my entire 60th. So please, absolutely, have a great time. Happy birthday for whenever it is. And when you've turned 60 or just before, you're always welcome to come back in and have another reading. Everybody's welcome to come back in and have as many readings as they want. Absolutely. So how did you find being read by somebody else? Because I always say to people, and especially other tarot readers, it's really nice to get feedback from another tarot reader, and I'm always up for that. If you go down below, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Deb, anytime. If you go through vera@tarotdna.com, which is my email, if you'd like to write me a review of my read on you that I can put on my website, I'd really appreciate that. And it's whether you recommend me, rate me out of 5 stars, and if you have any feedback for me to improve, I'm always welcome critique, because we're all on a learning journey, and I love having other tarot readers in the channel. And as we do other reads, if there's something you want to pop in that you know about the reading or the cards, I welcome that. Oh, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. But I call this an open community where there are people here learning about tarot, and at different levels of tarot learning, and Lamond and Kipper and Gypsy cards and other forms of divination, because I do runes or astrology, numerology and Kabbalah and colours. So if you have something to add, then and you know, Heather started a new Instagram, and I have to get on that. I had so much to do, because after that I did a 6.5 hour reading. Yes, on Thursday I did an hour and a half face-to-face reading, reset the table, and then did a 6.5 hour stream. So please hop right in, put something in chat, because I welcome people learning from others in chat. This is an open community for exactly that, for those that, you know, who read tarot. And as I said, I know you and Michelle are both here from Tarot Professional, so I not only welcome you, I welcome any comments you put in. I really do, because that's what this channel's all about. So, okay, let's go to the next person in our queue. It's not that we're so serious, Dukes. It's just actually when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I like to give them the very best of what I can give them, because although tarot reading can be seen as a parlour game, there are some people who actually make their living from doing this. I am a professional tarot reader, although I give them here for free. We have a laugh and a joke, believe me. But when you come in and you don't know the subject and make assumptions, it's probably best if there is a lot of misconceptions, and we do try to dispel them so that people understand that it's not something to be fearful of. For some people it's very difficult because of their upbringing or where they live. It can be quite difficult, and this is a very safe space for people to talk about tarot, learn about tarot, when in their community and at home they may not have anybody else they can talk to about tarot. So this is a learning channel, an educational channel, as well as one where we actually talk about tarot, give tarot readings, and that's all we try to do. I'm not saying we try to lecture, and we also are very careful of trolls, as Kiwi said. We've had a few, so we just try very hard to make sure that people that come in here feel safe to talk about something that can be, as you say, misconstrued by many people in the community. All your perceptions are from fiction, books, TV and movies. Well then, you might learn a great deal from this channel if you wish to. So Kiwi, you are up next for a real reading. Which deck would you like? You know what you have. And I've just used Tarot Grand Luck, so I tried to leave that one for the next one. So I just like to give them a break in between. So we have Tarot of Dreams, Marchetti, Legacy, The Gilded. There is an Oracle deck if you wish it. The truth is a lot more interesting in fiction when it comes to tarot. Do I ever get heckled by religious people? No, I get asked questions by religious people. People normally don't heckle me. And then I answer them truthfully that there is no reason why people who are religious can't read tarot and have tarot read. And also I get the same from scientists. I try to do a new one each time. Well, you absolutely do. And when people say you can't be a scientist and read, I say, well, I have 5 science degrees and 3 postgraduates, so I'm definitely a scientist, and I read tarot and have been for 45 years. In fact, I was reading tarot before I became a scientist, so you can do both. Nothing is mutually exclusive in this world. So Kiwi, which one do you want to try? Which is a new deck for you? Hollywood has given us a bad name. I'm proud to read. I draw from an energy of love and always ask to deliver a message for the greatest good of all involved. You'll do the oracle? Do you want this oracle, or would you like a different oracle? I don't think you've done the oracle yet? Absolutely. Now, as I said, this is the Ciro Marchetti oracle, and he deliberately designed it in such a way that he put a number on purely and simply if people wanted to find out about it in the book. I've seen someone else do it, but I don't think I did it myself. Now that's fair enough. You're a quality manager in read tarot. Exactly, they come from all walks of life. I have a pharmacist who's learning. I have someone who's taking a medical degree and is learning tarot. That's the point, is tarot is open for everybody. Deb started reading, I think it was you, Deb, said you started reading at 5, or is it Michelle? Started reading at 5. So, it's, there's no age limit to when you start and to when you finish. And we're forever learning. I'm still learning. I've been reading 45 years and I still take courses and learn new systems and new decks and new spreads and new things to do. What is tarot classed as exactly, Sis Saint? No, tarot is classed as tarot. Some people call it divination. It's not actually fortune telling or that, but it has, in Twitch, it's under fortune telling because that's what they've got it, or in the tarot category. So it's very different. Some people read cards like I do. There are others that are psychics, but you could just say tarot is a form of divination, like in runes, all sorts of different things, and oracle cards, as in astrology, numerology. They're all different facets of divination, all different categories. And if Deb or Michelle want to add to that, please do. In Michigan, it's classified as a therapy. It is. Some people put it under counselling. That's okay, Kimmy. I know that in some states it has to come under certain things so that you can get licenses. Is that correct? Again, Australia, England, America, Europe, Asia, it's all very different because of the different laws in the countries. So when I talk, you just get a general reading. I only talk about what I know because I've never lived in the United States, so I can't tell you what it's called over there and what it comes under because I don't know. So it's classified as a therapy. My cat just stared at me a lot. I think I accidentally woke her up from a nap. Oh dear. I'm only putting those on. Hello Market Zero, I've never seen a tarot card reading. You're very welcome to the channel. This particular reading I'm going to do now is an oracle. Yeah, how dare you wake up the cat. And it's slightly different because it doesn't have the same structure as a tarot deck. But you're welcome to watch and see what we do here. She's going back to sleep now, that's good. Alright, you ready for your oracle reading, Kiwi? You're 100% skeptical, but I enjoy learning. That's fine, you can be skeptical. All I'm doing is interpreting the pictures. So there are lots of other forms of divination. Yes, they are. Oracle cards are another form of divination. So this is the card I chose for you. This is the card, it's number 13, which is a 4 in numerology, which is foundations. But this particular card is a person here drawing through what seems to be an old-fashioned sewing machine with all the different spools of thread. And as she brings all the plucks together, all the different colours from the machine, as she puts them through her fingers, they're coming out as a rainbow. This card hasn't got a name, but I call it the Rainbow Weaver. Because that's what it reminds me of. It's someone who actually is able to take thoughts, ideas. I know you're an artist. Thank you, right, Bart? The rainbow weaver to me is someone who is able to take facets of different things from all around. The different colours here, they relate to the chakras, but they also relate to other energies. They relate to other interests and things you might bring in. So this is someone who is able to bring in a multifaceted parts of their life, bring them together to create the rainbow. Thank you, Market Zero, for following. I do appreciate that. That was very loud. I'm just going to turn my speaker down. So, this is you. It was loud. I've just turned the speakers down. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be that loud. Just my speaker was up loud. So, that you heard that from the speaker, then through my mic. So this is the Rainbow Weaver. And this particular card is saying, this is you, Kiwi, that you have everything it takes to bring in all the different facets to create the rainbow. Which, knowing that you're an artist, is very, very apt for you, that the card I picked for you is actually the Rainbow Weaver. So this is you. And although this is a general one, I've taken it that when I do a general reading, I like to use the elements. And you have the creative card. This is the card of creativity. So for someone who is an artist like yourself, as the Rainbow Weaver and the artist, this is who you are at the core of your soul. All the creating is coming out in this deck for you. This is saying that you have all these different mediums that you can work with. So here, this is saying all the different multifacets. This card is telling you that as an artist, don't limit yourself to one medium of creativity. There is music, there is writing. The quill here is the writing. There is sculpture. There is writing lyrics and music as well as playing. There is photography. There is using the palette of oils. There is drama. But even here, how the person is dressed, it's personal creativity, it's personal style. I try not to. I enjoy trying new mediums where I can. This is saying you are a creative person who has the ability to bring all these facets together, but don't limit yourself. In fact, actively look for all the different levels to be able to use your creativity, because you still may not have found your perfect medium, and you may find that by crossing over and bringing in the different mediums, you will create something incredible, like a rainbow, that for some may feel that it's just a passing fad, but you will actually realize that although the rainbow is only there for a short time, it keeps coming back. We know with the right conditions, we'll keep getting a rainbow. With creativity, by putting the right ones together, you are able to bring all that together. So your creativity as the Dream Weaver, the Rainbow Weaver, and the creation card of all the different creativity, saying you know who you are at your core, you're definitely on the right path, this is exactly what you should be doing. Let us go to the element of fire, which is drive and ambition and your passions. We actually have more of a watery scene in the fire. So it's saying sometimes you feel that your fire energy, your creativity of fire, because it's creativity, is actually quite mellowed down by your feelings, because the water is more mellow. This mermaid here is trying to, her natural environment is the water. Kind of funny, we get watery fire that makes steam, doesn't it? But it's almost like, but that is also a change. When we actually put water and fire together, it changes its physical state. And because of that, you have the water element, where the mermaid is at home, that's her natural element, but she's actually in a bubble of air. She's actually trying something different. So the message here again is try something different. I'm Tarot DNA. I'm the tarot reader, and my name is Tarot DNA. It's my professional tarot name. So from this you can see you have the birds and the butterflies in this bubble, but how long can she stay there? So it's like when you cross over to a different medium, you can do different things with it. Be creative and see different things. But sometimes you can only be there for a short while. But you still learn and you have experienced something and that you might be able to bring a different passion and a feeling to. So when you feel you're in your normal medium and in your normal environment, maybe step out of that environment and go to somewhere different and find a different level of creativity or a different way of being creative, not your normal art, but something totally, out of the realms that you haven't tried. Does that make sense, Kiwi? Good. Because I'm not sure exactly where you live, and I'm not sure what environment you live in, so it's saying try to get out of your normal physical environment, go somewhere different, and you will have a different creative vibe, and you will see things in a different way, which when you come back will work in with the different facets and your creativity on a different level. Because we actually had the water and the air, I'm going to go to the air sign. This card is beautiful. Ciro's literally put 3 different pictures from his decks in the background as art, because he also uses his digital art. And he has them on the wall from his different decks to show that no matter where we are in life, we can add not only pictures to our life, but we can add meaning to our life with different artwork, different symbolism. You can ask all the questions you like, Dukes. Someone will answer them for you. But what this picture is about is the balance. This person here is putting themselves in a place where they can show this person off to their very best advantage. The 2 dancers, he is holding her up with the loop where she is balancing, but he is holding that weight on his arms and the back of his neck. He's crouched in a position to make sure he's strong, but he's actually there supporting her in her art, in her creativity, in her field of expertise. But they work as a duo, they work in tandem, they work in harmony together. And it's saying, don't think sometimes that you have to do everything on your own. There will be others who can work in harmony with you and support you and give you balance. But always remember, you're not there to support them or they to support you all the time. It is for a finite time. He can't hold that position all the time. She can't be in that position all the time herself. She's holding herself up with one hand and the heel of her foot balanced. It is a fine balance. It is a fine way of being. So there is a passion and there is light. And you see the 2 here. They both love what they're doing and they enjoy the light of being together and the unity of what they're actually doing. But it doesn't last forever. Pictures here and behind. That's saying when we create things and they're tangible, they can last forever. We can take a picture of this, we can draw it, it can last forever, but the actual real moments will not last as long. So remember, you don't have to do everything by yourself. You can create something different with someone else and bring another aspect to what you're doing in your life. we then have the Earth card. This is the card of faith. It has all the different cards, all the different symbols here of faiths, religions, spirituality. But the reader is blind, saying it doesn't matter. You won't write a sonnet, but you do read tarot. I'm with you. I don't write poetry at all. I'm rubbish at that, but I love tarot. So we have here all the different people here, but can you see it has the descent of man, the Darwinian descent of man, from the 8th to Australopithecus, to Homo erectus, to Homo sapiens. So it actually gives us the 4 ages archaeologically of man, and that from this our beliefs and what we thought and knew were different there to what we knew here, to what we knew here, to what we knew here. The same with this. All through the world, different faiths, different religions, different spiritualities, what we know. You have to head out, but I was glad I could jump on for at least a few minutes. Have a great weekend. You too, Heather. Thank you for stopping by. Lovely to see you, and hope to see you in the channel again. And if you guys are all getting over Thanksgiving, hope you're enjoying your post-turkey and pumpkin pie, and just enjoying actually relaxing before heading up to Christmas, where you've got to do a whole lot more preparation. I don't know how you do it, but I hope you had a good one with lots of family and friends, and thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Go and rest. Enjoy your evening. I don't know how you go. I really don't know how you do it. I really don't. So from here, this is telling you, Kiwi, that if you find you're changing, that's a good thing. You don't have to stay the same, because we all evolve over time. Our thoughts, our feelings, what we believe in change. They evolve. You may have started out one way. That doesn't stop you understanding, knowing, and being a part of any of the others. It's not the first time someone has been born into a family of one religion, where over time they have changed and taken up their own beliefs and their own systems. It's exactly the same. As we grow and evolve over life as a species, many of these have come and gone. It doesn't matter what these are. It doesn't matter what we see, because actually every single one of us are exactly the same underneath. We have all evolved to be Homo sapiens. We are the human species. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, our belief systems, all of those are external to who we are internally. So no matter what is going on in your life, you will change, you will evolve, as we all do over time. Embrace the change. Our card of water. The woman here sees herself in one way, but all the mirrors, she's trying very hard to see herself the way she perceives herself. We see the picture, but that's not exactly who she is. When she's looking in the mirror, she wants to see one image, but there is another image. But all these mirrors are for her to try to see herself in all these different ways. And it shows that our perception of ourselves at any given time is a snapshot. Like when we look in a mirror, we pass the mirror and we see ourselves at a different angle, and we go, oh, I almost didn't recognize myself. Because we are multifaceted beings. We might appear one way on the outside, but that's not always who we are on the inside. Our physical reality sometimes does not match our internal reality, but it also often doesn't match how other people see us or how other people perceive us, because they might only see one side of us, one angle in a mirror. And so that tells us, as does this card, that whatever people believe, see or think of you, they're all extraneous. It's in their eyes only. And that's not what you have to believe in. What you have to believe in is who you are, who you want to be, who you want to evolve and grow into. So with all your creativity, you never let that stop you from changing. Never let that stop you from changing yourself. If there is something you want to change, something you want to grow into, something you want to be, then allow yourself to do exactly that. Exactly. Anna has a cubist lithograph. It reminds her that we're all different sides and we don't always see them all at once. And it's a beautiful piece, and it's a great reminder, as exactly as this one and this one. Where we've come from is may not where we end up. Who we are isn't the be all and end all. We're not just unilateral, we're not just unifaceted. We have many different parts and sides to us. Let them all shine when you're ready. But remember, you're just not one thing. You are the rainbow weaver. All of these parts of you create the rainbow. All of these parts of you create who you are. At this moment in time, this reading is telling you that your creativity level is coming to a point where you can create even more by expanding your horizons, realizing you can change your environment, you can change the way you look at things. There is balance and harmony, but don't restrict yourself just to doing everything on your own. Take in a partnership, a group, do something different, a collaboration. Use the mirrors to make you realize that there is more than one way of looking at something and of yourself. And all of this, your sides are parallelograms. A class, could that count as help? Absolutely. It's taking a class. It's all of these different things, all of these different facets, doing something different, learning, expanding your horizons, both in what you believe, what you do, what you see, where you go, who you're with. 3D modeling, absolutely. All of these different parts are saying, change your environment. Look at things from a different perspective. Realize a collaboration. Realize here that different beliefs and different ways of seeing things is absolutely the right thing to do. All of this. And thank you so much, Deb, for joining in the chat and doing those things and answering those questions. It's wonderful and it's great. Anna tries to explain things, but she's not a tarot reader, but she's learning a lot from watching this. So having another tarot reader of your caliber with your knowledge of all your decks and everything else, it's wonderful to have you in chat and helping. And 3D modeling is such a great skill to have for instructional designs. That's your career, is it? Well, Kiwi is an artist as well. So, and we'd love to hear about what you do, because part of this channel is supporting and nurturing the people in here. And I have people in here taking final exams for pharmacy and medical and nursing, electricity, and I'm doing electrician work. We like to hear what's going on in your life, because this is a community. We are growing into a very big community, and we support each other in our endeavors. Tarot is just one way of creating a message, but we actually talk about all the different things that happen in real life. This isn't just streaming 78 cards. I kind of landed it by mistake though. I'm a philosophy major who got an entry-level job in the call centre. I got a job on the instructional design team building online training. Well, I'm glad there are no mistakes. You were meant to be here just for this. Philosophy major, I applaud that. It's a subject I would like to have taken, but I'm a scientist, and it's not. I love philosophy. I really do. I just couldn't fit in another course that I wanted to. And taking a job at a call centre, when you're a student, we all take any job we can until we get to that point. But team building online training, that's great. Absolutely fascinating. Yeah, Kiwi's hoping to get into the game art, and she's wanting to get into 3D modelling so I can see if I can model for games. Absolutely. And I've said to her, doing all that in Hollerada, she could become a tarot deck designer, and when she does, I want the first one. So, Kiwi, does that give you some ideas, and did that help? My focus in it was epistemology, the study of knowledge to be justified. I came out of college knowing a lot less than what I thought I knew. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what philosophy does for you, isn't it? It tells you how much you don't know and how much you've got to know. I'm glad. I'm really glad. So you've had this one deck now. So next time you come, if you've worked through all the cards, I'll grab a deck off the shelf. So you have a different deck every time, and expose you to all the different art. What a fun way to reach a goal you didn't know you had. Absolutely. You know what I forgot to do? Oh, Deb, I'm sorry. You know what I didn't do, and I always do, and I just remembered for Kiwi. I was so involved. I've got to pull you a universe card. We always pull one of those. So Deb, this one's for you. Deb, your treasure is at hand. Sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier. But more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those who they're already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally who? The universe. We love the universe cards, and I always finish a reading off, and I'm so sorry I forgot. So that one was for you. Kiwi, this one's for you. You still get the emails. I've had them for 10 years. As soon as I saw them, I signed up, and I've had them for a decade. And I love them. I read them every morning. I've shaped quite a bit of my worldviews, though. I don't ascribe to a very popular mind-body dualism. I'm very much a materialist who thinks we're just very complex biological input and output machines with no free will or just the illusion of it. That's fair enough. I'm quite happy for you to talk about your views of different things. That's absolutely fine. We don't get political, but you're more than happy to ascribe to the mind-body dualism. You don't have to ascribe to that. We are very complex biological input now, but if you put us down to the machine, having studied science and biology at a very high level, I often would use the analogy of us being a machine. It's very, very true. Not sure I agree with having no free will, just the illusion of it, but that's your belief, and that's absolutely fine. You're more than welcome to that, and understanding why. So Kiwi, that you have options is meaningful. Rock on. Cutting edge neuroscience has shown that our brains make a decision about 6 seconds before we're consciously aware of it. Yes, I actually have a master's in neuroscience and neuropsychology. Thank you. It's walking. Yeah, I actually have 5 degrees. My first degree was as a naturopath in holistic healing. And I then took my science degree. I then took a teaching degree, and I have as I said, a master's in neuroscience and a master's in neuropsychology, and I did one in clinical research. Mainly because my second husband had Parkinson's, and he also got multisystem atrophy and dementia with Lewy bodies, which is why I took the neuroscience. So, and I also am a Reiki master, so I was using that as well. But I understand allopathic healing because I come from lots of generations of medical people, from nurses to lab techs, to my father, who was a bacteriologist and virologist and helped create a malaria vaccine in Africa. So Kiwi, the back of your card. If I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you now are to the lives of so many. And of course, I'd wish even for more wishes. Oh shoot, you were such a good idea. I like that one. Your fingers are on backwards today, are there? Mine are like that all the time. I was like that the other day. I just could not shuffle without the cards going everywhere. You are a very good idea. A brilliant idea. And we think so too. Hello JMar75. You can join the queue. You may have to be in here just a few more minutes because you need 10 Pentacles to join. So you may just have to be in here a little while. Or I think you can gain points by hosting if you have your own channel, or you can follow. It just gives us a way of letting people in here for a short while. No problem at all, but you'll be able to be on the queue. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. But you don't have to follow. You can always just wait a few minutes. The universe thought so when it said I was born. I wasn't supposed to actually be born. My mum was thought to be not to be able to have children due to health issues. Okay, well, then you're an absolute miracle. So you're here. Not bad, eh? Absolutely. Just got up to you just now. So, my lovely Senpai, that's all right. You just got back. Which deck would you like to choose? You can have the Tarot Grand Lux. Legacy looks pretty. Yeah. Always just in time. And Deb, when someone can't actually pick a deck, I have dice to throw. Because I say, you pick, and I go, oh no, I'm not picking your deck, I'll throw the dice. That's probability taking over, not me. You usually do dice. I was surprised when you picked one. You always say, I'll have the dice. You say, you pick, and I go, no, I don't pick. You have the dice. That's what they're there for. And we're going to get some other pretty dice, aren't we, Anna? We've seen some lovely dice. You like Mama Log suggestions. Are you having a general reading, or do you wish a question? A general one. I know the cards picked up on your work situation. Yeah, real gemstone handmade dice, they're gorgeous. We're looking at getting the amethyst or the rose quartz ones. And then I want to get platonic solids. I've always wanted a set of those in rose quartz. But Sand, I have to tell you, Black Friday, Anna bought me presents for stream. Guess what she got me? I have to show you. I have to show you. I have an Elgato Stream Deck. She tricked me, she did. So this afternoon I'm going to be playing a Stream Deck, yeah? At first I had no idea. She said, let's go for a walk, let's go out. And I went, it'd be so nice to actually go out, that's not a doctor's appointment. So we went down to the local mall. She was picking up some items she'd got from Borderlands, Maya and Lilith. And then she said, oh, we're just going to wait. And we were looking around, and they had Hogwarts wands. Oh, I was so tempted to buy a wand, a Hogwarts one, and then I went, no, I want a crystal one. But oh, they looked so good. I nearly bought one. I went, oh, because Deb, I actually have a goblet and a pentacle, and I'm looking for a wand and the same for my table. And I saw this wand and went, oh, I really love that. So, and that wasn't all. She not only got me the Stream Deck, she's got me a pull-up green screen as well. And I ordered my Brio camera yesterday. So I'm getting in first my new setup for the new year. I've got a new camera, a Stream Deck, and a green screen. And my computer will change, so it'll all be new again. I'm obviously loved. Deb, my daughter, who is my mod Anna, she's also my carer. I actually had to give up work 3 years ago because I was working in a dementia unit as a dementia specialist, and we were in lockdown, and I got a virus that was going around, but I didn't get the one that we were on lockdown for. So I didn't get a compensation payout, but I got chronic heart failure and haven't been able to work for 3 years. Hence why I'm doing the Mortero, but it took me the last couple of years to get back to strength again. And this March this year I got diagnosed with a brain tumour. And the last month has been pretty rough. I've had some medical procedures and biopsies and different things where I had to drill literally through my jaw to get to it, because it covers under my skin and in the nerves. It covers literally that side of my face. So I'm incredibly blessed with a daughter who not only looks after me 24/7 and drives me everywhere because I'm not allowed to drive anymore, but when I wanted to stream, she actually bought me the light source that I could stream from, and helped me get the camera, use her second monitor, and in the new year we're swapping computers. I'm having her old 2-year gaming computer, which will upgrade the 15-year-old one I'm using, and she's just helped me with the equipment, so she knows I do this from home because I can't work. Yeah, I can't do fairs and the circuits and go to the markets and do all those things because I just can't do them, so everything I have to do is online, and I occasionally have people here. So hello Almighty Park, how are you? Thank you for the follow, most appreciated. So I love doing this, and she knows how much I enjoy it, and she's just, how do you participate? You wait about, I think it's about 10 minutes we said, Anna, and you'll get enough pentacles in house currency, in channel currency, to join the queue. But because I think you've just followed, then you'll actually probably have enough to join the queue. So exclamation join without a space gets you into the queue. But I'm just about to do a reading for Sand, so you can watch what we do here. Not a problem at all. So I am loved and I'm very well taken care of, and incredibly blessed and grateful for the life I have. So, Sand, this one is for you. You have two major arcana, you have the Lovers, and you have strength, inner strength. The Lovers are saying, normally this is a relationship, but it can be, doesn't always have to be a romantic, physical relationship. It can be. You're saying that on the cards there is someone out there for you. But it's also saying with the inner strength, sometimes it's learning to have that relationship with ourselves and learning to love ourselves for who we are, and having the inner strength to realize that sometimes self-love, it's actually very much the hardest relationship in the world. Doing fairs virtually, I'd actually need someone at the other side setting up the camera and a table. It would be very unique, but I'm actually hoping, I used to be a fundraiser coordinator, so I'm actually hoping to set up my own Mind Body Spirit Festival locally. So yeah, it would be very unique. That's all right, Kiwi, glad to see you back. So Sand, this is about relationships and you having the inner strength to actually make them successful, whether that's with you, with yourself, having a relationship with your inner self, and that can be the hardest relationship of all, or having the inner strength to start a relationship with somebody else who you may feel you'd like to start a relationship with, but aren't sure of how you're going to go in that relationship yourself. And I know it can be hard when you're very busy at work and don't have a lot of free time. It's almost like, do I actually have time to focus on somebody else? And you might not at the moment, and it might be actually the person you have to focus on is yourself. I don't think it came up. Anna will check for you. Thank you for just asking, Almighty Pop. When I see these in this row here, I see a relationship and I see the Four of Wands. This card normally in another deck has a couple who are very much going to the next level of their relationship. It might be an engagement, it might be a wedding. They're going through this portal together to start a whole new life. So this could very much be the Lovers telling you that if there is someone you want to go to the next level in a relationship with, the card's very much telling you that there is a lovely pathway for actually this being a successful relationship. You should have enough because he followed. It might just be taking the bot a little while. We also have the Ace of Cups. It is our little anti-troll measure for the stream, absolutely. Anna put it in place and I trust her judgment. When you see here, Sam, this was on this side here, you have the Lovers at the top, you have the Wands, and you have the Ace of Cups, the start of a new relationship. So it's telling me that if there is someone you have in mind who you would like to have a relationship with, but maybe you're not sure and you're kind of thinking inside and going inside yourself wondering, do I have what it takes to do this? Do I have the inner strength to go through with it? Yep, we can do exactly that. Yeah, I knew if I asked Jen my question would be answered. The cards always, they do, Sampire, they always do. It doesn't matter. Every time you ask me for one, you ask me for a general, and it always picks up on exactly my bills. It always does. I've read for Sampire several times. He never ever asked me a question, but it always picks up. She knows if she does another 6 estrum, she gets no chili. I'm not doing 6 hours. I've got a stream deck to play with later and a housing inspection to get ready for on Tuesday. But, so yes, very definitely the new relationship in the offing. I think very definitely is all systems are go, Sand. All systems are go so far. Let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. Okay. We have 2 reverse cards here. So this is where the reality check comes in, Sam. So listen up for this one. We have the 9 of Cups. Sorry, that's not in reverse, that one's in reverse. This one here is very much the card of cups of emotions. Remember we talked about that? The 9 of Cups is normally someone in a tavern having a beer with lots of people around and lots of fun. So there's lots of celebrating. So this is just like a celebration card. We're not quite at the tent for the perfect happy families in the sunset and under the rainbow. But can you see all these different cups and all the different food and the celebration, and there's lots going on? It's lovely. So they're saying all these different cups here are filled, but this main one here in the center has lots going on. So all the different fruits of life, beautiful, abundance, feeling lovely. The coconut milk, the avocado, the peaches, the lemons, the fruits, everything here, the mint, all of those lovely things. And that lovely sunrise is saying beautiful things ahead. But we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is normally someone fairly young. I normally say mid to late teens. Or someone who has a very, very young outlook and perspective or way about them. They might be in their early 20s, but they come across as much younger, more naive, more innocent in their way. They normally bring us a message. Can you see here? He's carrying something. That's normally a message, even though there's actually the swords here, they're crossed. They kind of pertain back to the 2 of Swords with having a message and a choice. So he's bringing a message or a choice to you. These swords, it's air, it's in your mind, so often it's what we're thinking, but it can also be a message coming through to you, sometimes by other means. When it's upside down, the message you get, and sometimes it's the feeling in your head or how someone else communicates with you. So you may talk to someone or feel unsure about something. The messages coming through may feel more negative in nature. We'll see what the other cards say, but there is something coming in that is not quite as flowing as the rest of this. So this is a stop and listen, read everything, listen to what people say. Don't take a miscommunication as something where people have maybe not quite used the right words and how they meant to say it. But be aware that it might come from someone younger or from someone who is more naive or innocent or less practiced and experienced in the subject they're talking about. Make sense? So that's just your warning sign. You actually have another page, the Page of Cups. So the Page of Wands is communication. This is the Page of Cups, which is emotions. So if you were getting a communication on relationships or maybe a conversation, the lady in question or the person in question may not quite give you the answer to the questions or the communication you're expecting. The interest level, your inner strength and maybe your inner thoughts might be telling you the wavelengths aren't exactly in sync. But be aware that although you have the pages, it doesn't mean to say that this is an absolute no-go. It might be it's not right now because commitments, things I have to do, caught up with the holidays. It could very well be, would love to meet you, but I can't do it right now. Whereas in time it might be really happy to go out on a date with you now the holidays are over. But right now it's the choices I have to make are family and friends, and it's the holidays and I haven't seen my family all year and I have to be with my family. So not right now. Make sense? So it might just be a temporary pause, not a full stop. Especially when we have the World card. Just come out again. The World card is, there is a great future. It is the best card in the deck. It is the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new. So it could be the end of the cycle of you being single, and it could be the start of a whole new relationship and the beginning of a friendship. It also has Jupiter right at the top here. Jupiter is the card, is the planet of expansion. And on this card being the world, it's saying your world is as big as you want to make it. Your world can be as open and as large and exciting as the planet Jupiter. You can go as far as you want to. This relationship may go as far as you want it to, especially with cards like this. But also, can you see the Fool here? The wheel here, I said the world, sorry, I meant the wheel, is actually turning. It's still a change in fortunes and cycles. You start at the front, it falls down, you keep going around. So this is telling you that at different stages on the wheel, sorry, I didn't say wheel, I meant world, I said world and I meant wheel, so I apologise, that sometimes we're up, sometimes we're hanging on, sometimes we're barely holding on, and other times we're almost ascending and everything's going straight. So depending on where things are at the moment in your life and the lady in questions or the person in question, very much depends on the answer of where you are on the wheel. I agree, I don't spy with tarot. I would ask you what you need to know about interaction with this person. Yeah, when it's a general, I just very much say, I can tell you this, I can give you generalities. I never read third parties, ever. And I don't read health questions either because A, I'm not a doctor, B, I'm not a licensed practitioner to do that anymore, and therefore I say no go. I don't agree with that at all. So when a relationship comes up in general, all I can say is I can read what the cards are saying, but I can't tell you how it's going to go because I don't know the other person, who they are, what they're doing. All I can read you, oh, he was asking about a relationship question he could ask. So that's fair enough. But thank you for saying that. It is a ethical rule. And if people who read tarot don't actually stick to their ethics and say, I don't do this, I don't do that, then people think that anybody can, as you say, spy or gossip and that, and you have no idea, and you're making things up because you don't read the other person. I consider myself a professional and someone who's very ethical, and I make it very clear, which is why I put down in there what I won't do. And if they ask me to, I say, I can try to rephrase the question, but I don't read for a third person. I can't do that. So, the last cards here we have, it actually is very wrong to do for someone who doesn't consent. It's like a doctor saying, I can't actually, you telling me the symptoms of your Aunt Joan and asking me, you know, what she's got wrong with her. I don't know. You have to talk to them, you have to be there. And although this is virtual, I will only read for people in chat. I will not read for someone else or their partner. If someone's in the room and they want a reading, well, they have to hop on chat. I will not do it for them by proxy. I don't do that because it is unethical, it's wrong, and it's against everything I believe in as a tarot reader. The last couple of cards here, the main ones, we have the Six of Coins. This is very much the card of giving, of the haves and the have-nots. His hand up here is giving the resources to someone down here who doesn't have as much. This is being able to have an abundance, extra, to be able to give. And at this time of the year when giving presents and giving things, this is saying you will have enough to give to others. This is lovely. You have, and it's not just money, it's resources. It can be your time, your energy, just your presence of being there. It's not just because it's coins and it's pentacles and it's classed as the material things. Time and energy are also very important. So this time of year, you may have the extra time to be able to give your presence by being there with somebody, and that is enough for them to feel they have a gift, that you've actually been able to turn up and be there in person when they might not see you all year. And sometimes it's consent, and I look at the free will aspect. We cannot infringe on the third party's free will. We can't. And I always say to people, and whatever the cards say, you don't have to take anything I've put down because you have free will. This is a snapshot at this time. Things can change. Anything can change. Your thoughts on the matter can change. When it's another person, they can change. Timing can change. Environment can change. We have free will. And I know our young man in here was talking about that free will is an illusion. I think we actually have the choice and free will to be able to make a decision and go, no, not interested, won't do that. And my free will is I will not read for someone who is not here. And there is choice, free will and choice, and taking action. The Four of Swords, this is the card of rest. So whatever else is happening, sometimes all we have to do is rest. The cards are saying this is the holiday time, and I know in between the holidays people go back to work and it's busy. Privacy as well, absolute. Privacy and ethics are very important. To be able to take time out, Sand, and actually give yourself a break and rest up. So you might be giving and talking and seeing other people, but remember, you have to have time for you as well. That is important. Regardless of what is going on, work just gave me 9 days off and I really needed it. Well, then take the break. Absolutely take the break. I know you've had a lot going on at work, so socializing with people, making new friends, talking to other people about things, absolutely great. But make sure you're training yourself. Actually enjoy the time to really just chill. Yeah. And as Kiwi did make a good point about privacy. He doesn't read cards. But as a person, you wouldn't want your privacy invaded with someone else reading for you when you're not there. We have here, this is the Nine of Cups. This is our decorative, our mini. It is also the Nine of Cups. So this is telling you, enjoy the celebrations, enjoy the chill time, maybe just enjoying time with friends. If something comes of that friendship, that's great. But actually, maybe just focus on the friendship. And it is small compared to others. This is what they call a mini deck. And I love using it as a clarifier, but I also use it as a bridging card. So often I'll use them in between as a bridging from how we get from here to here. Watch the bridge. So the Nine of Cups is telling you that particular card, take note. There are two of it. This one here is the Eight of Pentacles. So we've had the Six of Coins here, which is having enough to be able to give. And the reason you have that is because of the Eight of Pentacles. You've worked very hard. You have been able to pull in the harvest of the Seven of Coins, and now you're using that abundance because what you do is a skill you have that creates you the income that you earn so well, because you are very good, very skilled at what you do, and it is giving you a good living. It is giving you the chance to then, you like the bridging card idea. How I often use them is I use the minis, and I will put a mini in between the decks. And what I will say is, how do we get the story? Because we're telling a story narrative, and I will use the little ones as a bridging card. And I actually often will put them like that and go, this is the bridge. This is the bridge we're creating. What's happening in your life, we bridge. And I call them my bridging cards. Take it, steal it. And I just love the minis for that. They're so good. They're absolutely perfect for bridging. So glad you like it, steal it. That's why I like having other professionals in here. I might steal your ideas too if you come up with some others and let me know what you do in chat. Okay? So, that card there, what I did because I did in the two sides, these two were the bridging cards. So as I did them out, these were the bridges to tell me, was there something that we needed to know for him to get to one side of the reading to the other. But the bridging cards are telling me he needs to enjoy this time off and celebrate. He has the money to enjoy it. He has the money to do the things he wants to do, because he not only gives, but he's earning and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Because the bridging cards are telling you, now is the time for you to enjoy the holiday season, enjoy your break, take the rest. There might be a couple of messages coming through, and it might be you're actually happy to go, you know what, I'm happy just to chill out and go and have a drink and have a meal in a party situation with lots of other people, because it's a great time of year for doing that, and just enjoy. Does that make sense to you, Sand? Does that give you kind of almost some validation? So, Mama Log says, go and party, boy. Go and party. Woo! You think you know your plan. Party time. Everyone is doing their best. There are really only two types of people. Those who know love and those who will love. Until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. The game of life, the universe. And that one just threw away. So I picked that one. Love is the reason. Each person in your life is there for a reason. And that reason always has something to do with love. Like me, the universe. Yay, it does. I'm glad. So we know what you're doing this holiday? In the next 9 days? You're partying, but you're also going to rest. Take some chill time. Enjoy. Give yourself that well-needed break. I have been. You need to. You absolutely need to. And I know you not only work hard, I know it's been very stressful with the reading we did the other night. Very involved. So take the time, enjoy the 9 days. Recharge the batteries. Recharge the batteries. And see this? This can also mean for you, just go outside and enjoy nature. Just take a walk outside. You're spending all your time inside. Go outside, walk through the trees, walk the paths. Just actually go outside. Enjoy living life to its fullest. Let your cup overflow. Totally enjoy the moment. But most of all, rest. Self-love. Very important. Well, I'm glad you've picked up something, Deb, from the Bridging cards for coming in here. I watch other tarot readers as well, and on YouTube, because I look at different spreads, I like what they're doing, and I pick up different ideas too. It's opening our horizons up. It does us all the world of good. Let's see how we're going. Almighty Park, you are our last read for the night. Well, night for you, day for here. Are you still in chat? If you can let me know you're still in chat for your reading, that would be great. Oh, might be AFK for a minute? That's absolutely fine. Do I take it Michelle has left because I haven't seen her posting? I don't know whether she's just lurking. That's one thing I love about tarot. Always learning, always surprises. Absolutely. It's very much that I learn something every time I get a new deck because of how they've interpreted the cards, and I look at different things and the different symbolism. I love watching other readers because they pick up on different things, and that's why I love it actually when I have readers in chat, because if there's questions come up like you did, I say please answer them. You're a tarot reader, you have a lot of experience. I'm more than happy to have you answer a question or raise a question. Anna is learning about tarot from watching, but she's not a tarot reader. So, and at the moment, neither is my other mod, when he can make it in here. And it's always really lovely when there are other people experienced in tarot, when I'm doing a reading, to be able to answer those questions. And it's great at sorting out who the trolls are and getting rid of them. But sometimes there is a genuine question to be answered, and it's great if there's another tarot reader who can give them an answer, but also another point of view. It's brilliant, and it's something that I really enjoy. Were there any other decks you haven't seen that I've got up, Deb? Have you seen all of Marchetti's decks here? Do you have them? Because I am coming through towards the end of December, because they're coming from America from Ciro. I have his retrospective coming, his Tarot Royale, and his Encore deck, all special editions coming through with a banner by the end of December. And we'll be opening up the Encore on stream because the outside edging is red, and the moment you've shuffled it you lose the effect, but it's like a rainbow, a holographic rainbow when you first look at it. So I want to actually, you do have them. You have all of these, that's great. Have you got any of his other ones? So I'm waiting for them. Do you have his retrospective or his Royale? I've seen pictures, but I don't own them, so they're coming. And I can't wait to get the Encore, his last one. I thought you might, you have so many. But there's just so many choices to have. You have his Royale? Yeah. I really wanted his decorative, but I didn't have the money at the time. When I went back to get it, it sold out. So I've got to wait for the mass publishing one to come out next year. That's why I got the mini. I thought, well, at least I've got the mini to tide me over until then. Then I want to get his Grand Tableau for the Le Monde and the one for the Kipper. Yeah, I learned from the different perspective of each deck. It's very different, and everybody, because I have a lot of people new to tarot, it's introducing them to his art, which is really lovely. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back. I'll stay online until 11, I'll just chat, but I don't think he's actually coming back for... Hog, if you're away from your keyboard, you want decorative for something called the Reader Studio? Oh, you're so lucky. Absolutely. We don't have a Reader Studio here in Australia, so I would love to go to one of the big ones. If ever I had enough money, I'm not supposed to fly that distance, but I think, to go to the Reader Studio in America would be amazing. Yeah. I've seen pictures of them. I wish they actually almost did like a live taping, so for those of us that can't get there, could actually still almost, I'd buy a virtual ticket to say, can I, even pay something towards a video recording? I would love to go. Who did you meet at the Reader Studio? If you tell me, you met Ciro, I'll be so jealous. And Benabel Well, I'd love to meet as well. So because you wanted at the studio, I'm totally jealous of you now, Deb, that you want decorative at the Reader Studio. I'm incredibly jealous. Good for you, but I'm incredibly jealous in the nicest possible way. There's the cat. They've been very good today. They haven't come up. I think it was on Thursday they came up because the light was on, and I have all the other lights off and it was dark outside. So all the moths were attracted to the wall. Benabel was there. Sarah wasn't. Benabel. Oh. Do you have her decks? I have her Spirit Keepers and her Vitruvian. And I've just got the set so I can actually make up the mini. But she's amazing. How she can put out the decks, the books and the content and all the stuff she writes and be a full-time corporate lawyer is... She's not only a genius, she's a dynamo. I don't think she ever sleeps. She's like the energizer bunny. She just keeps going.
But Sampai and Kiwi, the Reader Studio, is people that are leaders in the tarot field, like Ciro Marchetti, who actually creates the decks. Benabel Well is another deck creator. They all get together with some of the leading lights of the actual tarot community. And in America and England, they have what they call the Reader Studio. So people that are like this, that are the absolute experts in the field, they meet up. Carrie Paris, Robert Place, Sasha Graham, Ruth Ann and Ward Emberstone, they run them. But all these other readers actually go to the studio. They bring their decks, books, but they also, it's a bit like a Comic-Con or the gaming conventions. But this is more intimate. How many people would you say were there, Deb? I've never been, but some of the pictures, I don't know whether they have hundreds and they have smaller classes, because I've never been, so I really don't know how it runs. But the pictures I've seen, they come there and you can actually go and talk to them and have workshops with them, buy their decks and they'll sign them. It's just one of those things. It'd be like a gamer going to GameCon. I would like to go to the Reader Studio, which is the equivalent for tarot. And with a lot of money. Can you ask tarot cards when I'm becoming a millionaire? Oh, Extraordinary Strawberry, if I could ask that, I would have asked it for myself. I can't at the moment. I was waiting for someone else to come who asked for a reading to see if they come back. They were AFK. But the queue is closed because I'll be finishing up after that reading. And if I don't come back, I'll be finishing in about 9 minutes. So maybe another time. I like your positive when, not if. Absolutely. Of when you become a millionaire. You don't think more than 300 people. Yeah, I had no idea. But all I can suggest is, when you're becoming a millionaire, what are you working towards doing to become a millionaire? And or do you buy lottery tickets? Because it's like you can't become a millionaire on the lotto if you don't buy a ticket. And if you want to become a millionaire, do you have a plan in place to actually earn your millions? And if you do, what's your business plan? How are you doing it? I can't ask the tarot cards if you're becoming a millionaire. I would, but I'm waiting for someone else who's who was going to have a reading. So, and to get a reading from me, you've got to be in here for a little while and earn in channel currency. And because I'm finishing, you wouldn't have enough time to be in here long enough to actually get a reading. But you can always drop back next time. If you go down below, you can click on my Twitter, social media, and that notifies you when I'm actually coming back online. You can drop a follow if you like, so you can tell when I'm coming back online as well. But you just actually kind of popped in at the end of the stream. So thank you for coming in. But really sorry I can't answer that question right now today, but maybe another time. If you reframe it, what can you do to meet your financial goals, I might be able to answer that question. Yep, we are ending soon because I actually in real life I have some things to do. As I said, I was just waiting for someone who asked for a reading. There must be a sign that I have no future. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's just a sign that you popped in and your timing was slightly off today. If you come in maybe 45 minutes ago, you might have made the queue. It's just I have a finite amount of time to do free readings and I'm coming to the end of it and you just came in at the end of the queue. So now we don't tell the future, we give you an action plan. So it's so that's what I'm saying to you. What plans do you have in place? If money's your sole goal, you'll never have enough. That's very true. That's very true because you always want more. The cards are telling you your time is up. No, the cards aren't telling you. I'm telling you that I'm waiting for someone to do a read. And if they don't come in the next few minutes, they won't have their reading time either. So that's what the cards telling you. The cards aren't saying anything because they aren't here. Pete needs more sweat drops. I'll tell you what I will do for you, Extraordinary Strawberry. I'll put you a universe card and see what what message the universe has for you. These aren't tarot cards. These are the universe, notes from the universe. So we'll see what the universe cards has for you. and see what that tells you. Create space for new love. Maybe it's not about money you should be concerned with. When a thing hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. When it hurts your ears, stop listening to it. And when it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. I love you so much. The universe. The universe cards are one of our favourites. So the universe is actually telling you to create a space for new love. Sorry, I didn't give you any messages on money. So, a very true card indeed. Oops, going everywhere. A new love means more money? I don't think so. But if that's how you want to interpret it, that's absolutely fine. That's entirely up to you. But if that's, yeah. I won't say that a new love is money. But I think because our young man hasn't come back, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say good night to everybody in chat. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for following. For those of you who have had a reading, if you would like to go below, and in the boxes you'll see for my website the email for vera@tarotdna.com. It was lovely to meet all our new friends and meet some of our old ones. You're very welcome, Kiwi, for the lovely stream. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me read for you. Lots of love to you too. Lots and lots of love. If you'd like to write a review on the reading, whether you'd recommend me, and give me a star rating out of 5, I'll make sure you get your share when I'm rolling in cash. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Blessed be. You're absolutely very, very welcome, Deb. Thank you for coming by. I think our other young lady may have stayed for a little while and gone because she hadn't taken part, or she might be lurking. If you're lurking, thank you for lurking and just watching and staying. But I do appreciate you allowing me to read for you, Deb. I thank you for all your messages in chat and answering the questions. I really, really appreciate that. You're always welcome back, and you're always welcome to do that. It's a great help, and I love hearing another point of view. Glad you like the bridging card technique. Take it with you. By my greatest of pleasure. Sampai, love to you. Yeah, and Analog isn't a tarot reader. She tries her best she knows me talking about things, and it's wonderful. And that's why when I ask people if they read tarot, it's not I'm trying to catch anybody out. It's actually I'm very welcoming of tarot readers in here, whether they're beginners, experienced, to talk about decks they have, techniques they know, spreads they know, and to add an extra layer of meaning and interpretation, because I'm still learning. You do a great job answering questions, Anna. You've got a very good understanding of what it's about, but it's really nice when there is another tarot reader in here to give you that. And you do a great job. You really do. So thank you, everybody. If you look below on the clock, it will tell you in your time zone when I am on here next. As I said, I do Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays Australian time. Tuesday is geared for Australia time zones. Thursday is geared for UK and Europe. Saturday is geared for the States. It's good to have other tarot readers for the more difficult questions. It is. And it's lovely when we drop by, and because they come from tarot professionals, I always post in there because I hope that other tarot readers will come in here, like Deb has and Michelle did, for that very reason, because I'm really grateful when they do. It's wonderful. It really is to, talk about tarot, learn from things from them, different techniques. It's brilliant. It's nice to be here to talk tarot and oracle decks, and it's wonderful. So good night. God bless. If I don't finish on time, I won't get chilly tonight. So you all take care. thank you very much. I hope to see you all in here again. And I'm just going to close off the queue while I remember to and totally close it off. Yes, I have. Bye. Take care. Love you lots. And I'm now going to end stream. So enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are. Take care. God bless. And Senpai, remember to rest for the next 9 days. Party and enjoy, but remember the rest. Take care. Bye.